Alright, we're gonna do this video real quick. Mental illness. Y'all heard what happened to Spiritual Soul. If you didn't go watch this video, go watch a reaction to the video. He had some kid on his Patreon going through some things involving his moms. He didn't know how to react. Spiritual Soul tried to his best knowledge and ability to help the kid. He ended up getting blocked. Right? But no, I don't got a problem with Spiritual Soul today. I got a problem with mental illness, how people handle it. Right? Because there's so many mental factors. There's so many things that are mental, not physical, that we can't see, that is causing people today to make a shift, to make a change, to commit acts that will harm themselves, to even take, their own lives. And as a person, literally, at one point in time, and still to this day, considered by people around me in my life to have a mental illness, I can tell you something. Out of anybody you on here talking on the internet, I am a person who can legitimately say I know what you've been through. And if anybody here today has mental illness or thinking about offing themselves or thinking they're less than anybody else, I'm going to tell you why you feel like that. And I'm going to tell you why it's absolute bullshit. You could really do whatever you want to do. Literally. They can't stop you. I just came off a Daylight video and he was talking about the same topic, and I'm like, that's 2 videos today that I see bringing up mental illness. I'm like, you know what, let me drop my own video since I got more clarity on the subject. I've been bullied since I was a little kid, so I know everything when it comes to bullying, people making fun of you, being around the ladder, all of that when it comes to mental illness, all of that, right? But over time, you realize something. You gotta toughen through it. You gotta toughen up and get through it, right? Because when we were kids, it wasn't that bad. Mental illness really wasn't that bad of a thing coming up. It just wasn't. But nowadays, we do. And people gonna be like, people don't understand why mental illness is so high. Oh, people aren't bullying each other anymore. You know what I'm saying? The school system is better. Kids aren't bullying each other left and right. They're not beating each other up. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe that was the case back when we were young. But you know what we do have today that we didn't have then? Technology, cell phones. We have all of this equipment. And we live in a world where if you don't have a smartphone, you're completely out of the loop. If you don't have a certain type of smartphone, people are going to judge you differently. We live in a world where people are so superficial about what we deem is appropriate and inappropriate. If you're not following the regimen, you're an outcast. Back in the day, kids maybe have gotten beaten up, but you were allowed to be yourself. You were allowed to be yourself. In this scenario, if you don't have this car that's advertised on the TV, you don't have this phone that's advertised in the news, you don't got this lifestyle the way a celebrity has it, you're completely out of the loop. You're an outcast. You're the weirdo. You're the one nobody wants. That's because you don't follow societal norms. The government, the media has built up this image. This is the life you're supposed to live. If you do not live it, you're the problem. And you got people and their families thinking that you're crazy, trying to send you on medication. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Some people actually do have problems. Their studies came out and it's proven that social media, especially social media, they've been doing studies since the early 2000s. They've been doing studies about how social media ain't good for you long term. It causes depression, you know what I'm saying, looking at other people's things like that. And these are things that are real problems. Because we ain't really fighting a physical battle like that no more. But you got people who are delusioned. They straight delusion. They have no idea what's going on in the world right now. They watch a couple of YouTube videos, right, of this person, that person, and they think they know everything now. We gonna talk about how rampant crimes have been in the news to schoolings. People coming out of nowhere with rifles and stuff and doing crazy things. Why? These people are disillusioned. They're disillusioned. They believe something that's just not true. We live in an era now where anybody can get media at the whim. The same media that gives us these telephones that allowed us to talk to each other from anywhere across the world, this is the same device that's keeping people segregated mentally. It's not even a segregation level of you live here and I live there, or you're the skin color and I'm skin color. No, we have a new level of segregation. It's called clout. I drip harder than you. You're not in the same category as me. I got this car, you don't got this car. You're not on the same level. I have this many followers than more than you do. If you have a specific number on any social media website and it's larger than everybody else's in your area, you're automatically considered famous or the GOAT. Numbers on a screen. You realize you can turn off the screen and you won't see those numbers anymore, right? But yet we live in a world where people, including me at one point, again, I've been through all of this, believe because society pushes it. If you ain't got this clout, you might as well be an indentured servant. You got no clout, you got no followers, you might as well be an indentured servant. For real. This is why people are having so much mental problems, mental trauma. We ain't gonna even need to talk about the EMF waves. We ain't gonna talk about if you plug in your iPhone and you're using it while it's in the charger, it literally emits EMF waves into your body. I found that out on TikTok watching a video. You can literally have your phone plug in and it's sending you electromagnetic waves through your body. So we're not even gonna talk about all the physical damage it actually does to you. Because all of that plays into factor too. Your dopamine levels, blue light coming into your eyes, frying your system. People are fried, bro. Why do you think we're on so many drugs too nowadays? These devices are frying our brains. We're not getting physical cuts on our face anymore. It's not as easy as being like little Timmy just beat up Ronnie. Little Timmy's the school bully. It ain't that easy no more. It's a bunch of subtle things that they don't teach you about or talk about in schools. A bunch of subtle things. It's a new form of racism. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Clout is a new form of racism. A new form of classism, if you want to say that. This is what this generation's biggest problem is gonna be. When we have our kids in the future, for those of us who gonna make it, it's gonna be a different problem. But right here, right now, this is the world that we gotta go through, and you gotta toughen up. You gotta toughen through it. It's rather you're gonna use this machine and benefit off of it, or you're gonna turn it off and live a life without it. You can't let this machine make you. You can't let the phone make you. You can't let the smartphone outsmart you. You're holding the instrument of all your pain and anger in your hands. If you and everybody in your community stopped living off the iPhone, you wouldn't be having these depression problems. You would have different problems, but you wouldn't be having these depression problems. And we live in a world now where damn near everybody has an internet connection, Wi-Fi, smartphone, some sort of telephone now. So we got millions of people, if not billions of people, who are going crazy because their brains are fried. And we having so many kids now who, especially with the lockdown that happened 2 years ago in 2020, kids are losing social skills. Kids are fundamentally losing belief in themselves. If it's not something that their favorite rapper or artist wasn't talking about, or if it wasn't a chain or something that their favorite Instagram, TikTok person who's just like them, a regular human, was wearing, if I don't got that, there's a problem with me. If I'm not an 18-year-old rapper making $8 million a year, I'm telling you, these are me. This was me. I'm talking me right now, and I was thinking that too. If I'm not an 18-year-old rapper making millions of dollars, not in the system, I'm a failure. People really be on that timing. We live in an era now where there's more jobs than ever. People are gonna tell you there's no jobs, and that we live in an era now where you can literally make money doing whatever you want. There are good things to this era too. People can sit here on a phone and make millions. You don't need to have a profession like that. Back in the day, you couldn't do that. There was no phone. You couldn't become an Instagram model. It's rather you became an actor, went to like 600 to 1,000 acting lessons, land a gig and got in a movie. It was one or the other. Now we live in a day where people don't even need to leave their houses. You can just hop on your phone, make an hour-long live, and the Instagram is gonna send you a check straight to your door. So there are good things about the era that we live in. But if you feel that you have to do that, if you feel like you gotta make content because everybody else is making content, you feel like you don't got the girl or somebody dubbed you in their life because this that we seen here, this magical screen is controlling their lives, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad because their mind is screwed and yours is accurate. And this goes all the way into the medical field. This goes into the medical industry too, because this is how they push the pharmaceuticals. This is how they push it. Because if you have a mental breakdown for any reason where you look around you and one day you just realize, nope, the people are crazy. Nope, the school system don't work. Nope, the job system is bunk. No, the government don't care about nobody but themselves. If you go through all of this, if you go through all of this and then you decide to have a mental breakdown because you're like the world around you is completely and utterly insane, you're right to have one. But when you go through it, guess what they're gonna do? Well, let's put this kid in the back of the ER. They send the police. If the police don't get him, if the police don't get him up, send him into the infirmary. You know what I'm saying? See, put him in a psychiatric ward. And when you come out, now they got you on the drugs. Now you can form drug addictions. You don't even need to be doing any of those illegal drugs on the street. I ain't gonna say certain ones because I don't want Instagram to take this down. I mean, YouTube to take this down. But this is how you got kids in song. Oh, I'm off the. I'm taking. How do you think it starts? How do you think it starts? It starts with this thing in your hand that affects your brain, which causes you to go out into the world. Which causes you to go out into the world. And once you do that, now they're trying to force you. They're trying to force you. Now you can't even sing or rap or do whatever you want. Now you have to, if you really want to be at the top, highest level in the world that they promote, everybody should watch this, what everybody should do, these are the people that everybody should focus on. Now you have to rap about specific topics that are harmful to the community. Now you have to wear specific clothes that are controversial to the community. Now you gotta pull up to certain events which were made and funded by people who are not the nicest and did a lot of bad things to other people, especially of this color. You're gonna understand. You're gonna understand that we this is a complicated world that we live in too. We live in the best of times and we live in the worst of times. And depending on how old you are, doesn't matter how old you are. You can get through this. You can get through this. You gonna go through that, especially if you really on this video right now. If you on the woke side, you don't wake up one day and just be woke. I gotta make that clear. Remember, you are who you are. You don't wake up one day and just be woke. You know you're woke from a very young age. You know that you see the world differently than anybody else. It's just that it gets to a point when you gotta express yourself and you realize everybody ain't really on the same timing as me. That's when you start to feel alone. That's when you start to feel alone. But little do you know, you are probably one of the most influential people on the face of the planet. You understand that? You are one of the most influential people on the face of the planet because you stand out. Name me one famous dictator in history that you saw in the street. Name me one famous president that you could say, oh, I used to live next to this person. You don't do that. You don't live next to the president. You don't live next to your congressman. You don't live next to Nicki Minaj. As soon as somebody makes money, what do? They move out the hood. They go to the area where all the other rich people are at. If you were a type of person who from birth was already like different from your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your cousins, if you were already quote unquote the loner type, you're already, one of those people, right? You already are built for that life, to live a luxurious life. You don't gotta be evil. You don't gotta be in everybody else's corner. We are now moving in a direction going forward. The problems that we have today are gonna shift again. But I'm here to let you know, if you're the loner type, just focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. What would have done in that spiritual soul situation with him and that boy? What would I would have done? I wouldn't have asked for his mother's name like he did. I wouldn't have done that, but I would have told him, Because this is what I did, right? You gotta confront the kid. You gotta go to your teachers. You gotta try something. You gotta fight for yourself. You got to. It's gonna hurt being alone, but you gotta fight for yourself. You can't sit there and try to be peaceful and positive all the time. That's another thing they try to teach you. They try to teach you through the movies. They're trying to teach you in the school system. Everybody, everybody just says across the board, and you see across the board, man, you gotta be nice. You gotta be peaceful. Don't attack other men. You gotta be the bigger person always. You always gotta be the bigger person. If somebody says something wrong to you, turn the other cheek. You always gotta be the bigger person. No, this is how you become depressed even faster. When somebody does you wrong and you know for a fact, nah, what you did to me and how you were treating me is wrong, and you just trying to hold it all in like you're some kind of super monk. No, you're not. No, you're not. Get angry. Be mad. Get angry. Be mad. Express yourself. Be yourself. And if you really don't like the situation you in, you don't gotta hang out with those friends. This is the problem I didn't figure out when I was in high school. I was always trying to hang out with the wrong people. Not because they were necessarily bad people, because they weren't cool with me and I wasn't cool with them. You don't gotta hang out with everyone. Sometimes it's better to be alone so you can figure out what you really wanna do. All of your best and favorite streamers at one point decided, yeah, I'm not gonna hang out with people like I usually do. I'm gonna do what I gonna do. And now they on YouTube, now they making millions, and now you watch them every day. You gotta make that decision for yourself. Realize, you gotta realize that you are different from everybody else. And it's okay to be mad at times. Now, don't take me as an example. But I fought the kid. I fought the kid. There were multiple kids. I used to fight. I didn't fight a lot. But when I fought, everybody in the class knew that I did it. Because I was that kid that got poked on and made fun of for everything growing up. Yeah. Yeah, I know the life. I'm telling you. I know the life. I know what it's like to have all those thoughts in your head. I've done some crazy things before. I know the life, but I'm here now and I'm stronger for it because that I realized that you can't change other people. Don't try to even change other people. Just focus on yourself and watch. The better you come, the better you become, the more you start to flex, the more you stack up your own bread, buy your own clothes, buy your own video games. Listen, and if you do certain substances, stop doing it with friends. I'm telling you right now, stop doing it with friends. You're better off doing it by yourself. Let people know you really don't need them like that. If they're not even there for you. You gotta let people know. Just by acting that way. That you don't really need them. You're not really on their time and you don't really care for their attention no more. And watch, you'll be surprised how people start acting around you, how girls start shifting around you, how men start like being uncomfortable. People who are not supposed to be in your life, when you start acting and living right, will move themselves out of your life. You don't gotta cut your friends off tomorrow. Just start acting different. The ones who gonna still be there, trust me, they'll be there for you. You gotta trust me on that. They're gonna be there for you. But the ones who are not gonna be there, they're just gonna go away. They just gonna go away. They just gonna go away, and you won't be fine. I still have friends to this day. You will be surprised the people I know. I went to school with some famous people. One of them hit me up the other day. One of them just hit me up the other day. Like he's still there. Like he in the NBA now, and he's still hitting me up. And I'm just like, I don't even talk to him no more. But I left that much of an impact on him. I left that much of an impact on him. You can't let mental illness, you cannot let people determine your life, or you cannot let this society, how the media works, make you want to take your own life. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. We don't do that. That's not protocol. That's not protocol. Listen to Kendrick. That's not protocol. We don't do that. We don't listen to critics. We don't. We take advice from people who care. We take advice from people who care. We don't take we don't take criticism, because at the end of the day, they're watching you. They're coming to see you. The same kids who are laughing at you, who are laughing at you today, if you're still in that situation, they're gonna come back and hit you up. You don't gotta do much. We live in the best of times. We live in the best of times now. It doesn't have to be the worst of times. It don't have to be an end of the world situation 24/7. It don't gotta be like that. It don't gotta be like that. It get better. There's no perfect person. Nobody. There's not a perfect person on the planet. Find me one. Find me one. Name me the person who literally overnight became a super quadrillionaire. There's nobody. Literally nobody. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, all them white people, they all took years beforehand. Plus, their parents had money, and their parents had money, and they had their hands in pockets, all that crazy stuff. It's a front. It's a front. All these media people, they lying to you. Is really not that hard to become famous or successful. You just gotta understand, everybody else around you are gonna like grab you and pull you down, like crabs in a barrel. They're gonna freaking your family and things like that. If your family and things like that really care about you, they're gonna be there for you. They're not gonna agree with what you say, but if you have the strength in your heart to be like, yo, mom and dad, I don't really do this. I don't really do this. Like, I don't believe in the same faith that you do. I rock with this. I ain't going to school no more. Y'all gotta stop being scared of your family. They're not gonna attack you. You know we can't be kids no more, right? You know we live in an era where that's taboo. So if somebody's trying to take a belt to you, all you gotta do is record them. Now they can't do nothing. You understand that, right? A lot of the problems that I had growing up, and a lot of problems a lot of kids have today growing up with mental illness is unpractical fear that's not meant to have. Why are you scared of people? Why are you scared of your family? Why? Why? A lot of you men in here are like taller and more physically active than your fathers. You can take them if you really wanted to. I'm not saying to take them, that's not the point. Why are you scared of your moms? Why are you scared of your dad? If you about to be 18 years old, they legally can't do anything to you. And I guarantee you, if they really love you, it doesn't matter how bad you've messed up in the past already. You still got a place to sleep in their room. You guys still got a place to sleep in their house. Why are you scared? These are some things you just gotta know how to do. These are some things you just gotta know how to do and how to move if you want to beat mental illness, if you want to beat depression. The pain don't go away. You gotta understand, the pain don't go away. Anybody, your favorite Daylight, Vaughn, Foster, everybody has a certain look in their face that you can tell they've been through stuff. They've been through stuff. The pain don't go away. The pain don't go away. Look at your favorite woke celebrity. Look at 21 Savage. Look at J. Cole and all of them. Pain don't go away ever. People don't change. People don't change. People have moments in times where they do something that surprise you. People don't change. They don't. You just get used to it. You just start realizing, oh, that's why they do what they do. Okay. Oh, when you start reading, when you start practicing your skills, when you find that one thing in your life that you want to do and you start focusing on it, you start to realize, oh, this is why that person screwed me over in my life. It wasn't even nothing that had to do with me. It was something going on in their life. You know how big you gotta be? You know how powerful you are? When you literally say, I don't give a fuck about what society thinks, what the cops think, what anybody think. I'm gonna do me 24/7, and you live like that, you will change people's lives. You like, it doesn't even need to be famous about it. There'll be people on your block that'll just be high fiving you and just looking to you like authority now. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. We live in a world where you can do this now. I couldn't say you could do this back in the 90s. I could say that now. I could say that now. You have the same world where a youngin, a real youngin, can think about taking their life and might do it, and you got the same world where a youngin, a real youngin, to make millions and millions of dollars and take care of their family for the rest of their life. Come on now. All you gotta do is pick what side you wanna be on. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Just pick. Just pick. You just gotta pick. You just gotta get up one day and just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I don't care what people gotta say. And if somebody gets me mad, I'm gonna cuss them out. I got free speech, right? I got free speech. I can say whatever I want. I already know I ain't a bad person. Call people out. If they've been screwing you over, call them out. Call them out. Don't let no type of fear stop you from doing anything. It's whack if you gonna let fear stop you. It really be whack. That's whack, and it's not. And you gonna stay depressed that way. You gonna stay depressed that way. Keep moving. Just keep moving, and life just gets better for you. There is a force out there, whether you believe in a God or not. There's something rooting out for you. Just go do it.